Our education system has failed us when it comes to money. The real reason most people don't understand money goes beyond not being taught. Schools teach us to work for money, but never how to make money work for us. We've been conditioned to accept the job paycheck debt cycle without ever questioning it. In fact, studies show that over 75% of high school students graduate without knowing the basics of managing money. Most financial education focuses on budgeting and saving. But the real question is, how do you use money to generate more money? They told you to wake up early, to be polite, to answer emails fast, and so you did. You played nice in fluorescent rooms and learned how to be exhausted without asking why. But here's the part they hid under the rug they rolled your future in. Money doesn't come to the obedient. It comes to the aware. Let me drop some truth on you. Working hard isn't what's going to make you rich. It'll just make you tired, worn out, and probably resentful. I've seen people working 60 hours a week, living paycheck to paycheck, barely keeping their heads above water. It's like running on a treadmill that's stuck on the highest speed, and you're getting nowhere. You're not getting paid for your effort. You're getting paid for your value. The market doesn't care how many hours you've spent at your desk. It cares about what kind of value you're adding. So, stop selling your hours for a fixed salary. You're trading time for money, and time is the one thing you can never get back. You memorized triangles. You solved for X. But when your bank account started bleeding, there was no formula for that. No one taught you the shape of survival, how interest bends time, how debt spirals. Financial education isn't knowing what an APR is. It's knowing what it does to your sleep. It's looking at a student loan and seeing a mortgage on your future self. It's understanding that buying now means paying in regret, monthly. You were trained to fear failure, but not to fear financial blindness. They taught you how to avoid mistakes, but never how to recover from them. You weren't told that money is language, and if you don't speak it, you'll always be at the mercy of those who do. No one's coming to explain the terms. They hope you stay confused. Confused people pay more, stay silent longer, sign faster. So, start reading. All of it. Even the words that make your head buzz. Ask the embarrassing questions, the ones they roll their eyes at. That's how you break it. That's how you build. Money isn't a goal. It's a language. You don't master it to buy a lifestyle. You learn it so the world stops speaking over you. So your landlord, your bank, your boss, your government, none of them can trick you into handing over your peace just because they used a word you didn't understand. Every dollar you touch learns your habits. It watches where you spend it, who you give it to, how fast you let it go. Money doesn't just move. It listens. It records. It multiplies your mindset. If you treat it like a guest, it leaves. If you treat it like a seed, it grows. If you ignore it, it rots in someone else's garden. But no one told you that. They told you to chase income, but they never mentioned that your behavior with $20 is exactly how you'll behave with $20,000. You can't save what you hate. You can't grow what you fear. You can't fix money problems with more money. You fix them with new patterns. Start with awareness. Look at where your money sleeps, where it runs, what it avoids. Track it like it's a wild animal. You'll start seeing patterns. You'll see where it slips out of your fingers. Who gets too much of it? What feelings make you spend like you're trying to disappear? Then, change one habit. Slow your spending like you're trying to hear what your future self is trying to say. Respect small amounts. Respect the boring stuff. Plans that don't sound impressive but keep the lights on. That's how it shifts. Not with a raise, but with a decision. Money won't control the story. You will. Money speaks. Not in dollars, but in contracts, silence, interest rates, and fine print. If you don't learn how money thinks, it will think for you. And it doesn't think kindly. Financial education isn't luxury talk for rich kids. It's self-defense. It's the only subject that follows you everywhere. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to stop being fluent in denial. Read receipts. Question fees. Understand what minimum payment really means. Learn what a late fee is saying behind your back. Money doesn't ruin people. Silence does. And pretending you'll figure it out later is the softest lie that leaves the deepest bruise. So don't just nod when they say compound interest. Don't just scroll past the breakdown of your bill. Don't trust the tone of the paper. Read the numbers behind the smile. Learn the damn terms. Learn what deferred really means. Learn that approved doesn't mean safe. The system was written in ink you weren't taught to read. And every time you say, "I'm not good with money," it listens. It takes more. But if you sit with it, even once a week, even for 15 minutes, things change. Learn the language, not to impress, but so you don't get tricked by a polite invoice or crushed by a contract written for your silence. Because the truth is, money isn't cruel. It's just fluent. And right now it's speaking shit around you. Financial education isn't just knowledge, it's learning how the trap works, so you don't decorate it and call it home. This video didn't give you hope, it gave you heat. Now it's yours to turn it into fire, or forget you ever felt it. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be awake, and most people never even get that far. Peace.